there's also a decision involving a high school football coach who was fired for praying. And this is a subject that we never spend enough time on. We need to spend more time on religious liberty in America. Joe Kennedy served for years as an assistant football coach for the Bremerton, Washington high school varsity football team. And he had taken a knee and prayed briefly after every game since 2008. In 2015, an employee from another high school evidently complained to the Bremerton High School principal. The school district set new guidelines for Kennedy, saying he was allowed to engage in religious activity, including prayer, so long as it does not interfere with job responsibilities, and that the students would not be allowed to join such activity. The district added, listen to this, such activity should either be non-demonstrative, i.e. not outwardly discernible as religious activity, if students are also engaged in religious conduct, or it should occur while students are not engaging in such conduct. Can you imagine the stupidity of all this? A bunch of grown adults, idiots. And listen to what Sports Illustrated did. Sports Illustrated got in on the act. They haven't even waited for the opinion to be rendered. Sports Illustrated wrote that any of us who back this coach have a more nefarious purpose, as Hank Berrien over at the Daily Wire writes. Sports Illustrated wrote that Coach Kennedy is a human embodiment of a country that's deeply divided, a religious movement that's surging with momentum even as organized religion becomes increasingly less popular, and most of all, a powerful right-wing machine many say is employing a timeless division tactic, us versus them. Sports Illustrated quotes the lead lawyer for the Bremerton School District and the president of Americans United for Separation of Church and State, Rachel Laser. That's, of course, the atheist, God-hating organization. SI writes, that's what this case is about, a movement that's so determined they are not willing to stop. They are willing to destroy our democracy to achieve their ends. Sports Illustrated says that this supposed movement is backed by a billion-dollar industry that brands its argument not under Christian nationalism, but the more palatable religious freedom. I mean, this is what we're up against. And with everything that's being thrown our way, when a mainstream publication like Sports Illustrated dives in and sides with God and prayer and religion-hating people, and that's all this is, people who are so miserable that they would actually be disturbed that a beloved coach who served for years on this Bremerton High School varsity football team would have the nerve to pray for 15 seconds on the field after a game. You know, for years, my wife and I were season ticket holders for the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, we bought overpriced seats. I'd say overpriced. I mean, it was a joyful experience for us, but in the brand new stadium that is one of the greatest football stadiums in America. And it always warmed my heart to see players from the opposing teams take a knee, put their arms around each other, and pray after a game. Now think about what kind of person you'd have to be offended by that. Think about the kind of person you must be if Coach Joe Kennedy offended you, who for years would take a knee for about 15 seconds after a football game and invited students to join him and asked players from the opposing team to join him. a beautiful moment that has been utterly wrecked by God-hating bigots. And these are bigots. They love to call us the bigots. And Sports Illustrated and their atheist-loving subjects for their interview claim that we're changing the vocabulary. It's not really religious freedom. That's more palatable to call it religious freedom, but it's Christian nationalism. Hey, Sports Illustrated, we are a Judeo-Christian nation, whether you like it or not. Clearly you don't. That's sick, and it's twisted, and it's sad.